Hello, my name is Damian Gomez, and welcome to the second installment in a series of videos in which I attempt to replicate and explore traditional ninja tools as described in ancient Japanese military texts. I have over 14 years of training and experience in classical Japanese martial arts, and am currently ranked as a second-degree black belt in Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu. In addition, I'm also pursuing an education in history with an emphasis on East Asia. As you may already know, the ninja or shinobi were Japan's most renowned guerrilla tacticians that specialized in espionage, arson, scouting, and nighttime infiltration. Shinobi agents were highly active in Japan during the 16th century in what is referred to as Sengoku Jidai, or the Warring States period. There are many misconceptions that exist regarding shinobi no jitsu, and contrary to popular belief, shinobi agents were more concerned with gathering information than engaging the enemy in hand-to-hand combat. That is, they were less likely to be packing weapons and more likely to be carrying various tools to assist them in infiltration and espionage. In this episode, I'll attempt to replicate a cloud ladder, which is a ladder that was used by shinobi agents to climb over low fences, stone walls, cross small rivers, or to simply observe the enemy from a distance. The cloud ladder is mentioned in both the Shinobi Hiden and the Bansenshukai, which are Japan's most recognized military manuals pertaining to shinobi no jitsu. I'll do my best to keep archaeological and historical accuracy in mind during the replication process, and I hope that you'll join me on my quest in search of authentic shinobi no jitsu. The cloud ladder originated in China during the 14th century, and they were much larger and more complex than the ones that would later be used by shinobi agents in 16th century Japan. China during the 14th century was a turbulent place, and warfare was endemic. Many technological developments were being made in the field of siege weapons. Exploding bombs, rockets, siege cannons, and assault weapons are just some examples of the advances that were being made in siege warfare. It was during this time that cloud ladders emerged on the battlefield and were used to besiege castles. Cloud ladders in China were immense structures that would be wheeled up to a castle wall, and once in place, an additional ladder would swing out across the remaining gap to allow troops to penetrate the castle. One of the primary characteristics of the Chinese cloud ladder is that it was usually mounted on 4 wheels. The extendable portion of the ladder could be operated using a pulley system or long poles. The Japanese version of the cloud ladder used by Bushi during the Warring States period is similar to the Chinese version, but slightly differs in that it was not always mounted on wheels. The version used by shinobi agents in the Iga and Koka regions of Japan seemed to differ even more in that they were much smaller and simpler, which implies that it was intended for personal or maybe small team use. Alright, so we're here at Tropical Decor. I'm going to go check it out and see if they have any bamboo for me. They want me to glue them onto a wooden shaft.
Really?
Yes,
you know, they stopped doing that in the 16th century for a reason. was too hard to build.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Do
if
they
that's
have
gonna help.
curvature to the inside? Yeah.
I mean, these sometimes like trying to throw a buck, you can't go wrong on that. And plus, they're bamboo, so they're really strong once you would have them on there.
Right.
You know, and then you're going to have the lashing on it also, which will hold it on there.
Are you parked nearby?
Yeah, we're on the side. Yeah, on the side of the bridge.
Are you?
Yeah.
Right up here if you want.
Okay. All right.
Oops, sorry. Avalanche. I'll give you a hand a little bit. So how'd we do, okay? Did we pass the audition?
Here at Home Depot, I'm here to pick up some wooden shafts for the side rails, and I also need some wood glue. So let's go check it out and see if I can't find what I need. So it turns out that Home Depot does not have the length we're looking for. They have these nice thick wooden dowels, but they only have them in 4-foot sections. So we're going to go over to Dixie Line Lumber and see if they can't, see if we can't find a 6-foot wooden dowel with similar thickness or diameter. All right, so we're here at Dixie Line Lumber, and it looks as if this is as close as we're going to get to the wooden, the size of wooden shaft that we need for the side rails for the ladder. They're a little oblong shaped, but that's fine. I think we can probably get about 2 veneers of bamboo wrapped around this. We'll see. So we'll get somebody to cut this down to size, and we'll be on our way. Alright, so we're back at Shinobu Inochi Dojo, and I think I've acquired all the raw materials that I'm going to need for this project. I'm basing my work off of an ancient Japanese military text that was recently translated by Anthony Cummins and Yoshie Minami. The cloud ladder, as described in the Bansenshukai, comes in 2 different versions, a temporary and a permanent. The version I've chose to replicate today is the permanent version. A cloud ladder is actually a combination of 2 different ladders, a tied ladder and another ladder that is seated on top that acts as an extension. The side railings of the ladder are to be made of wooden shafts that are surrounded by bamboo veneers. The wooden shafts that I've decided to use for this project are of Douglas fir, also known as Pseudotsuga menziesii, which is a species of tree that is indigenous to the Iga and Koka regions of Japan. The permanent version of the cloud ladder, as described in the Bansenshukai, is a pre-constructed and much sturdier version of the temporary cloud ladder. Its side railings consist of wooden shafts that are encapsulated with veneers of bamboo. I did manage to wrangle up some 6-foot veneers of Chinese bamboo, which I'll use to adhere to the wooden shafts of the ladder, the side railings of the ladder, like so. For the rungs of the ladder, or the steps, I'll be using these smaller sections of bamboo, which I'll secure in place with this natural fiber rope. So let me grab my workbench, I'll pull up some of these tatami mats, and we'll begin by adhering the bamboo veneers to the side railings of the ladder. Let's get started. Alright, so I've cleared out the dojo and I've brought out my fancy workbench for this project. According to the Bansenshukai, the construction of a tie ladder is to be similar to that of an uchi spear, which is described as a wooden shaft that's surrounded by thin strips of bamboo. Now the theory that I'm going with is that the author was referring to the side railings of the ladder. The glue that I'm using is not historically accurate, but I just don't have the time to make a pitch or a resin for this project. As I've already mentioned, the wood that I've chosen to use for the side railings of the ladder is of Douglas fir, a species of conifer also known as Pseudotsuga menziesii. This is very similar to the Japanese Douglas fir, which is also a species of conifer that would have been available to the Bushi warriors living on the main island of Honshu. So it looks as if our glue has dried. We're going to go ahead and take this out, apply the next veneer of bamboo, and repeat the process for each side. Alright guys, so we're back, and all of the wooden shafts for our ladder are now done and completely encased in the bamboo veneers. We were able to fit 4 veneers around each wooden shaft, and we're about to move into the next phase of our archaeological experiment, in which we will fasten the bamboo rungs, or the steps, to the side railings of the ladder using some natural fiber rope that we picked up at a local craft store. Now, as with most ladders, the broad face of our side railings will be faced outwards to strengthen the ladder. And according to the illustration in the Bonsenshukai, they've used a diagonal lashing to adhere the rungs to the side railings of the ladder, so that's the lashing that we'll use. rungs for the flying ladder are going to be a little shorter than the rungs for the tied ladder, so let's go ahead and cut these down. Alright guys, so we're almost done with this archaeological experiment. As you can see, we've fastened the rungs onto the side railings of the ladder using natural fiber rope, with the addition of two special solid wood rungs that will act as the ladder's interlocking mechanism once we attach the extension on top. But we'll talk more about the inner workings of this ladder later. Right now, let's transition into the final stages of our project. According to the Von Senchukai, we're to wrap the end of each post with straw to reduce sound. I picked up some straw at my local craft store, so let's wrap this up. Alright, we're done wrapping the posts with straw. We have our flying ladder, we have our tied ladder, and it's finally time to put them both together to make the cloud ladder. But I mentioned earlier that this ladder comes equipped with an interlocking system. Let me show you how that works. The key to the interlocking system of this ladder lies within these two solid wooden rungs. Alright, so let's put these two together and make our cloud ladder now. The project is complete, and the cloud ladder is now done. I theorized that this ladder would have been used by shinobi agents to climb over small walls, probably at Heijo or Hirajo type castles. I'd like to take this moment to thank the people that were involved in this project. My wife Arlene and both of my children, Ethan and Kai, that helped construct this ladder. I'd also like to thank Dr. Levine for allowing me to do this as an independent project for my archaeology class. I'd like to thank Gabriel Rosa for being an inspiration, and all the administrators at Historical Ninjutsu and Samurai Warfare for providing us with a platform to share these types of projects and network with other like-minded people. And of course, I'd like to thank Anthony Cummins and Yoshie Minami for making this all possible. Thank you.